where we're going, we don't need a script.
Wouldn't want to see you off script, and I don't think the viewers at home would either.
Why? Not that bad.
This week we're talking insurance fraud, unstable art, and the Queer Welsh Hall of Fame book.
And what art encapsulates our very being? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to Pain in the Arts, the podcast for the arts and culture sector in Wales, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the why did I choose this career moment. I'm broadcaster Chris J. Birch, and
I am writer and editor for the Edit Wales, Jack Rhys-Birch.
If you're working in the arts, if you want to work in the arts, or if you just love it from afar, welcome to this broadcast on this Thursday morning / afternoon / whenever you're doing it. But if you are watching on a Thursday morning / afternoon, it is election day. So I hope you're watching this having voted. Doesn't matter who you vote for. You all are welcome here. However, please make sure you go out and vote.
Yes.
Very important.
Yeah, I'll be there bright and early.
Oh, yes, because we're obviously not recording this on a Thursday, just in case that wasn't absolutely clear initially.
Because I want to be there voting with my poll card in hand, which we'll say took me ages to find my poll card when it got delivered.
Yeah.
Because it's not a card anymore. It's a piece of paper.
It's a full-on piece of paper.
But I remember they used to be carved into slate. No, they used to be pieces of cards, didn't they? Like an A5 piece of cardstock.
Yeah, like a polling card.
Yeah. So I was going through that little rack that we've got by the front door where we keep all the important letters and bills and stuff like that, trying to feel one that had a card inside.
This is just housekeeping now, sorry. It's nothing to do with Pain in the Arts at all.
And I couldn't find it. And I was so confused. And then in the end, I had to go through every letter in there to find the one that was and it was just it was a letter, just a piece of paper.
Yeah, there are far too many unopened letters. Do you see the one we had the other day where it was handwritten to you?
Oh, yeah, that made me scared. I thought I had a secret admirer or something in the street that was confessing their love to me.
It was an old lady's handwriting, let's not go far.
Some old ladies really like me. But no, it wasn't. It was some sort of canvassing thing for Lib Dems, I think. But,
that looked handwritten as well. Very clever.
Yeah.
Got you to open it, didn't it?
It did, yeah, and scan it. And then when I realised what it was, though, I was a bit angry because I was like, oh, I don't have a secret admirer then.
No, just usually the window cleaner asking you to pay your bill.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. This week, what have we been up to? It's been a bit of a weird week, isn't it? Because we had a bank holiday, and I think because we did nothing this bank holiday,
nothing at all, literally
it actually made us more tired.
To be fair, I was absolutely exhausted on Monday. I think I had enough on Monday. I think I needed to recover.
But what did we actually do on the bank holiday? Nothing, other than go to Cwmbran to see your parents.
Yeah.
And we had a coffee with them. That was about it.
Yeah, that is actually quite true. But then I was on the radio on the Saturday morning.
Yeah,
true. So, there was that, but I guess that's not exactly something
what you would normally do in a given week anyway. Yeah. So I don't know, it's a bit weird that doing less and deciding to have a more laid-back bank holiday actually made us more tired.
Do you know, can I just ask you, just on a really random note before we get into this, I was with a musician earlier who said that absolutely loved making music in the beginning, loved gigging and going around pubs and venues and all these sorts of things because he didn't see it as a job, right? And just enjoyed it and was like, yeah, I'm quite happy with 100 quid. And then all of a sudden now sees it as a job and is demotivated when it's less than 300-400 quid every time and is valuing himself completely differently purely because he doesn't feel like he's enjoying it as much because he's now treating it as work rather than a hobby. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I'm the same, to be honest with you, though. As soon as it becomes work, I go off it.
Well, I was thinking this when it comes to things like the radio and when it comes to hosting events and things like that. Obviously, do that. A lot of this hosting is done either completely for free because it's charity, or if it's done really on the cheap because you want to help support them. There's only the odd one that's proper corporate, and then when they're asking for me to return and those sorts of things, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to support it. Is there anything fee-wise? And I don't know why. Maybe that my energy.
I think if we spend all our time pushing the value yourself as an artist correctly, and we don't follow through with that same mentality ourselves,
this is it.
It's one of those things where it's sort of and you do see sometimes organisations take advantage of people like us who want to support something new and something up and coming, and we're prepared to give a little bit of our time in payment for that as help to them, and then they just sort of abuse that a little bit, and then you have to take a big step back from it. And,
I mean, I know you encounter this every now and again with going to do theatre reviews. That's got to be it probably happens far more than I'm even aware of, because you get invited along to all sorts of events, and there's almost like a we've brought you along. Here's a ticket. Look, congratulations, we've actually given you a ticket. Aren't you lucky? And there's an expectation now that we need this from you, and the expectations.
It used to just be that they expected a written review. But some marketing agencies do treat it differently, and they give you these sort of list of requirements that are like, you must do a written review, a reel that is X amount of minutes long, or up to a minute long, a social media post, a story before it, a story after it, and it all of a sudden it becomes, I don't think a lot of people realize what goes into making content for social media. But it can be a full-time job.
Yeah.
And it is for a lot of people, and to expect that of people without there being any money changing hands is a bit, I don't know, because I get paid by certain brands to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Other brands, they will just give you things in replacement for the time that you'll spend on it, but it's always quantifiable. It'll always be like, if you're getting a £10 crate of sweets, I don't know, I've never had anything like that, but if you get,
I would expect one of those.
If you're getting a £10 crate of sweets,
Haribo,
they might expect like a 30-second TikTok or something like that out there. Whereas if you're getting like a £3,000 clothing allowance to spend somewhere, they'll probably expect something a little bit longer and a bit more chunkier to it.
Yeah.
Or they will give you the £10 box of sweets and pay you your fee and say, can you do a 5-minute review video of it? So some marketing agencies don't understand that yet. They're trying to jump into the world of content creators and social media, but they don't actually understand what goes along with it. And it has crept into the theatre space ever so slightly. And I get it. Like, if we're advertising and we're marketing everything on social media, theatres and arts venues and galleries should be there too.
Do you think that a theatre, if they're giving you a ticket, do you think they're expecting either a good review or nothing at all if you're not able to positively review it? Do you think there's an expectation for we're giving you
honestly, some theatres, in particularly Cardiff, yes. One particular theatre in Cardiff, if you don't give them a good review, they don't invite you back.
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, they know who they are. Because we always have to chase them for press invites. And the thing that I find most embarrassing for them is that the sort of reviewer community of people in Cardiff particularly is a very small community.
Yeah.
We're all quite good friends. We all go out and have a couple of drinks or a coffee with each other, of an evening when we're not reviewing.
Yeah.
And we're all we all get on with each other.
Yeah.
So it's not like that we're not going to find out that certain people have been disinvited or taken off press lists because they did a less than favourable review. But do you know what? I would rather be taken off the press list for a theatre because they didn't like my negative review than be paid to go there and feel like I have to write a positive review, because I will not. The people who read my reviews, I will not have them pay money to go and see something that I don't think was worth the money, or I don't think was R&D'd well enough or produced well enough, compared to the ticket price and things like that. There's got to be value for money, or you're just going to harm the arts at the end of the day.
Well, I was going to say, I think there's been a few occasions where where I've been the +1 to your invite, and we've been along, and I thought, my God, this is an absolute load of crap. Absolute load of rubbish. We might have to bleep that bit out.
Yeah, do you know what the thing is, though, is that's all subjective, and you're just going as a +1, and you're forgetting the fact that, like, I'm there as a reviewer, so I will always put myself in the shoes of the intended audience.
But also the ticket price, that's got to play a part.
Yeah, and I don't always find that out. I have to go actively looking for how much where I was sat would cost. To sort of put that into perspective as well.
Yeah.
And because I know people who will save up for a majority of the year to go and see something in a theatre space as a special treat and as an occasion. It's their once-a-year thing that they get to do. And they will ask me, have you seen this somewhere else before? Is it worth it? And I will say to them, go and read my review. It will be honest, what I thought of it. I commend a theatre much more, and I will always back a company who, if I negatively reviewed them and they've invited me back for the next thing that they've done, because I'm like, do you know what? You're aware of the fact that not everything's going to fly.
Yeah.
Some stuff is going to sink. It's life. It's art. Some stuff is going to work. Some stuff isn't. And you're going to embrace the good and the bad that come with it.
Yeah.
And you're going to almost double down and prove yourself to that reviewer and be like, no, I'm going to win you around. You're going to like something that I've produced or I put on in my theatre space at some point.
Yeah. And I like that approach most definitely. Are you Because you're going to see, what do you want to see this week?
So Double Indemnity in the new theatre.
When is that?
Well, it was supposed to be on Tuesday, but they've had to cancel it because the lead actress was ill. So
Okay.
they very kindly offered to move us to another night so we can see her.
So the review will be out later this week.
It will be out later this week, later than normal. It would have been out on a Wednesday, but I'm going to see it on Wednesday now.
Okay.
So
we'll have to come
that'll be
along.
quite excited. We're at the Unstable Arts exhibition.
Yes, we get a bit of advanced look as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're
that's
going
gonna
to
be
do a
quite
little
fun.
thing for socials for that, are we?
We are indeed, yes. Yeah, I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. You're hosting the Rainbow Wales book talk with Emily Garside.
I am
at
indeed.
Bookspace Cardiff.
Yes, which I always call Bookstore Cardiff, but it's not.
Well,
it's
it is a
Bookspace.
bookstore in Cardiff,
It's
so you're half
Bookspace.
right there.
And you're
Run
half
by
right.
the talented Lily.
Yes.
So yeah, you'll be down there. We've put some stuff on the socials already for that. haven't
We have, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be great because I've done my prep work. I've done my homework. I have the questions ready to go. Actually, on here,
Yeah,
ready
it's quite,
for
it's quite exciting because there's a few people. It's basically like queer icons, past and present,
It is.
of Wales, and there's a couple of people in there that we know. So it'll be like quite nice to see them encapsulated in it. Not you. You're not in it.
I know. Do you know what? Right? I feel like I need to write a letter of complaint here
It's
and
a bit
now.
big-headed though that you think you should be at a queer icons, past and present. When
Is
you're
it?
comparing yourself to the likes of, well, I don't know yet because I haven't read the book. Because my pre-advanced copy still hasn't turned up.
I've got the bones. I've got the skeleton of the book. If you want to have a look at it.
Yeah, but that came direct from the author. But the publisher said that they were going to send it to me, and I never had it. I'm waiting on 3 books from that publisher.
3 books from which publisher? No, we won't say it just in case.
Apparently they're lost in the post, so the author said to me anyway. But a couple of the authors have said to me, "Are you reviewing this book for me?" And I said, "Well, I have asked. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. If they get there, they get there. If 3 of them all turn up on my doorstep at the same time, I'll have to just speed read them all and get them out as soon as possible."
But you are a speed reader, I will be fair.
I am quite a fast reader. So,
If not, you can pass them on to like your nan and your sister because they love stuff like that.
yeah,
as well.
definitely. And then yeah, on the Sunday, I believe, we're in Cabaret for Dyke Systems.
Yes, we
Now,
are.
I saw that on the calendar. I thought, what the hell? Because with Cabaret, it could be anything.
And I say yes to them all.
So I Googled it, and do you know what? It seems right up my street. So you know how I hate anything that is an MLM,
And then-
multi-layered marketing,
Yes,
like thing,
yeah.
anything like that. If someone introduces themselves to me as such and such from Utility Warehouse, gone. I'm out of the room, tapped out. I don't want to be part of your pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
So this is basically 2 women poking fun at that.
Can I just say, other MLM schemes are available.
Yes, other ones are available and will be ignored by me as well. But this is basically 2 performers taking the mick out of that. That's their
Really?
concept for this comedy.
We need to go and
It
see that.
seems like one that I will be totally honest with you. I'm not sitting at the front because this seems interactive to me.
Oh, I will be sat at the front.
I won't be. So
We sat at the front for Wanda.
for Little Wanda.
Yeah, the Little Wanda comedy night the other night.
Yeah, and that was great. None of them picked on us, so I was happy with that. But it's because there was a, you can believe this, arsehole of a heckler sat behind us.
Yes.
The entire way. So every time I go to a comedy show, and they always say the same thing at the beginning: be polite, be kind to your performers. Like a lot of these were young, up and
Fresh out
coming
of the box.
comedians. Not all of them were fresh out of the box.
No.
Some of them were quite established, but some of them were quite new. And there's always one, and it's always a middle-aged man, and he's always heckling the young female comedian.
Yes.
Every time, and it is so annoying. I'm just like, shut up and let the people on the stage do their job that they're here to do. If you wanted to be a comedian, pack in your 9-to-5 blue collar and get on the stage and you do it. But you don't need to interject with them.
No,
but do you know what?
absolutely not.
The host there, Paul Higgins, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
He dealt with that person
Super.
so
Yes.
well. I loved every minute of it. So it makes me excited to go back to these things.
Yeah.
So
We're going back to Gagged again, aren't we? In June, that's another comedy night in Cabaret. We'll have to cover that at some point. 'Cause that was really good.
So yeah. So should we topple on over to our questions for the week?
Go on, then. Let's do it after this.
This episode is brought to you by Final Rentals based in Cardiff. Final Rentals is a bold, fast-growing global car rental network seamlessly connecting travellers with trusted local car rental companies across 60-plus countries and more than 500 locations worldwide.
Final Rentals gives independent car rental businesses around the world global visibility and reach while keeping their local expertise at the heart of every booking, giving customers more choice, better value, and the confidence of booking trusted providers wherever they travel.
Blending local knowledge with global scale, Final Rentals creates a car rental ecosystem that champions fairness, opportunity, and sustainable growth for both travellers and the businesses that they serve.
So to learn more, you can follow the link, it's on our socials. Okay, Jack, let's go with question 1.
So question 1 is from Laura.
Hello, Laura.
So, if you could be encapsulated in any form of art, what would it be and why?
Oh, okay.
I know,
Now, there's
short
a question.
but very deep.
I
You could
know.
go a lot of ways with that. My mind instantly jumped to ceramics, because obviously I do ceramics. So I
Yeah.
thought, I suppose a ceramic sculpture or something conceptual like that. Then I thought, it'd be quite nice to have my portrait on a museum wall somewhere, sort of with one of the little dogs next to me and a little scape of fruit in a bowl.
See, I'm thinking, my mind has instantly jumped to Salvador Dali, Melting Clock. I'm getting a little bit older, Melting Face. Yeah, I think that would be me. But equally, I'd love to be a song.
Yeah, music. Music would be a really good one.
Yeah, because, I mean, let's be fair, we're going to see things by Mozart now. Obviously not actually performed by Mozart right now because he's not around. But his legacy continues along with so many other artists. And the name of each song, you know, a lot of the times are not by Mozart, but in a lot of occasions are named after certain icons or people. That would iconize me. I would be very happy with that.
Yeah, a song. Yeah, I think I would go for something more sculptural, like a
Okay.
ceramic sculpture, a bronze sculpture.
Like the new Banksy sculpture that
Yes.
that was just.
Yeah.
How did that get placed there?
They know, don't
They
they? They know it's
do.
going there. Those things don't just land in the middle of London.
We're in a heightened terrorist state at the moment. Do you really think that you can just nip round and drop that off?
Isn't it in Nelson's column, is it?
It's nearby, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
It's by the National Portrait Gallery, I think, somewhere in that
I mean,
area.
it's a huge piece of. I mean, you can't tell me that just got dropped off one night and no one noticed.
We'll go and
They're
hunt it down when we're in London on the 18th.
Yeah, I will say that would be the kind of thing I would be very happy with as well. Like
Yeah.
a bronze sculpture, I think that would be quite fun. Or a theatre piece.
A theatre, yeah, a play.
Yeah.
Yeah, something is a bit more outside the box than. But no, I still think I'd stick to something like a bronze sculpture or a ceramic sculpture.
I'd want to wind you up, and my piece that was theatre about me would definitely be immersive, just to wind you
Well,
up.
then I wouldn't be in the audience.
Oh, but you'd have to.
No,
You'd have to.
Not
It'd
if-
be like
not
a
if people are
prerequisite.
touching me and talking to me and asking
be
me
there,
questions.
opening
Because the
night.
problem is when people in an audience pick on me and they say, "What's your name?" I go, "John." What do you do? I'm a bread baker, and my mind goes blank, and I just make it up to fill in the awkward silence. So everything I'm telling these people is a lie anyway, because I panic. I'm a panicker.
Why would you do that?
Because when I'm put on the spot, my brain just turns into TV static.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Whereas-
I can't think straight. And
that's
I
my
just say the
moment to
first thing-
shine, so
Yeah.
I-
Again, performing arts degree.
Yes, yeah. If nothing else, apart from do you know what? I'm paying back my student loan, and like at the moment, you know, just nips out every month.
Tear rolls down your eye.
Oh, honestly, do you know what? And I just think every now and again, I'm like, that's where my hard-earned money is going on, just being a little bit more creative in every day. But is it worth the 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever it is, grand's worth of debt now? I don't know. I query that hourly, especially at the end of every month.
It's a shame we weren't in uni during COVID. Did any of those students get that money back?
I don't know. I don't think they did.
I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
off topic. But yes,
Yes.
Laura, they are the things that we would want to have encapsulate us in our art form.
Yeah, final answer for me, theatre, I reckon.
Sculpture. Some
Okay.
sort of sculpture, bronze, I think.
Shall we move on to question 2
Let's.
after this? That was such an interesting question from Laura, actually.
That was.
Let's go with question 2, shall we?
So, question number 2 is from Anonymous.
Oh, anonymous.
So, it's quite a, considering the day, you know, what today is in the world in Wales, quite a appropriate question.
Okay.
So, This was the year I was going to leave my full-time job to pursue being an artist, but with the current Senate elections, it's making me nervous. Should I wait it out to see who gets in before making the big jump to full-time artist? Well, from today, you will know who has won the election and who's in power.
Actually, it'll probably be Friday evening by the time they actually get the result and confirm everything.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, they are predicting Friday morning they'll know.
Yeah.
So, okay, you've got a day and an evening to go by it. But honestly, no, I wouldn't wait. If you've already made your mind up, I wouldn't let this be the thing that put you off, because if you find a reason for this to put you off, you'll keep finding reasons for things to put you off doing it.
Do you know what? I just think whoever comes into, and let's not talk specific parties, but whoever comes into power, whatever decisions are planning to be made are not going to be made and implemented and feel the effects from for several months after, at the very, very least. So the decision you make today will have an impact on your life tomorrow. What Parliament, what the Senedd or what national government or whatever, whoever makes a decision from a political standpoint usually takes months or years to actually come into effect. And okay, there are exceptions, don't get me wrong. But for me, I just think whatever you're planning on doing, it impacts your life from today, from the moment you make that decision and you take action on it. So whereas governments usually are far slower and far less quick to be able to get that rolling and get it out the door. So by the time
no one comes into power and flips a switch and everything changes.
No, sadly, everything takes
But
a long
also, I do think maybe Anonymous is just nervous and looking for a reason to not do this.
I'd share that.
And it is a big leap to go from a full-time job where, someone else is responsible for earning the money that is paying your bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, every artist out there who's doing it full-time, they made that leap at some point. They decided they were going to abandon traditional methods of making money and do it by,
And I do think that same question doesn't just exist in the artistic creative world. No. Not at all. I mean, you and I have set up multiple businesses, and when I remember it so vividly when we were sat and decided on going self-employed. And we were very thankful and very fortunate in one way, because our cost of our actual income was being slightly offset initially by you still being in uni. That made a very, very slight benefit for us in that way. But that very quickly came to an end. And then we were just untethered and left to our own devices and had to make our own way in the world. And I think, that's very, very difficult to do. And it doesn't matter what the economic climate is or who's in power at that particular moment. It's all resting on you as a person and how much you're prepared to push it. So I do think it doesn't matter what the timing is or who's in power or what they're planning on doing. I think the most important thing is that if you're going to do it and commit to it.
Yeah. I would say as well to Anonymous that at this time of year when elections are going on, there's a lot of stuff out there on social media that isn't always necessarily true. And it can make people nervous and scared. And that's what it's aimed to do. It's supposed to make you nervous and scared to vote for whoever the opposite of who they're talking about on there is. So I would do your research yourself. By the time this goes out, it'll probably be too late for you to go back and watch our political video that we put out on socials.
Yeah, possibly, but it is on Instagram.
Just going through and checking them out on Instagram, we just sort of break down factually what was in the manifesto. We didn't look on social media. We didn't Google it. We just went directly to their PDF manifestos and found what it is we were looking for when it concerned the arts and creative sector.
And it was the most boring recording we have ever done.
Well, it took us 3 attempts to do it.
It did.
3 attempts, 3 locations, 3 different outfits just to try and judge it up a bit. And even then, it was just. But I think to some people it is interesting and it is important. And to you, it would have been, hopefully you've caught that video before writing this question, because it can definitely be something that would help you, because it broke down what each party's stance was when it came to the arts. And okay, some were more favourable than others. Some just didn't have dedicated chapters to the arts, which, says what it says. But you can make a real choice with the way you vote.
Yeah. Do you know what's going to be really interesting is next week's recording that we do for this podcast.
Yeah, because when I was writing the script for today's one, we had that bit at the end where we talk about what's coming up in the week. I've said debrief election.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I am looking for next week's episode. Now, well, by the time next week's episode comes around, we'll have a new party in power. We can
Well,
dissect
you're
that.
assuming.
I am assuming. Quite rightly. Yes, but hopefully there will be. But I mean,
Dunno.
the
They
world
could
could
pull it
turn on
out
its
the
head.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know where we are next week.
No.
We could have Trump in charge.
Could you imagine?
On that note, do you want to teach me something new? Okay, we are going for our art history of the month. Week. Art history. God, heaven forbid. Go for it, Jack.
Okay.
Teach me something new.
What do you think determined how long an album was on a CD?
How long an album was on a CD?
Yeah.
I love a CD. I remember the transition from tape to CD.
Well, what do you think determined it? Like, why is it roughly whatever the length is of it? What do you think? Was it artistic choice, attention span, or just vibes? Like, what do you think pushed it to that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I've always assumed that the size of a vinyl, and then because we could fit more data onto a CD, that made it the size. Actually, I don't know.
What if I told you it was partially decided by a German composer of the 1800s?
What? Decided on the length of a CD?
Some would argue. We'll just go with it.
What are we putting in his teeth?
So, classical music is the reason that CDs and basically modern albums are the length they are today.
Really?
Yeah. So before the CD, obviously we had like vinyls, cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And they had limits, vinyls especially, because you would get about 20 to 25 minutes a side.
Yeah.
On a vinyl, which we know because we've got loads of vinyls.
I love my
You're constantly flipping them over, aren't you? And or putting the arm back. So in the late 70s, there were two companies, Sony and Philips.
Yeah.
And they decided to invent something new, a digital format with better sound, no crackle, and no flipping of sides.
Right. I mean, it sounds heaven. We have it now.
So that was the compact disc, the CD.
Yeah.
So here's the key question.
Okay.
How long should it be? Because at this point, it could have been anything, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. There was no rule. They were in the process of inventing it. So how did they get it to the point where it's the standardized length that it was?
All right. Okay.
Okay. So enter Norio Ogre.
Okay.
Ogre, president and chairman of the Sony Corporation.
Right.
And he is credited with spurring the development of the compact disc.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't just a businessman, he was a trained opera singer. And he cared really deeply about music. It was a proper passion of his.
Yeah.
So according to a widely told story, which some say urban legends, some say that it's fact,
Okay.
he said, and this is a quote, a CD should be long enough to hold a full performance of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And you may ask, why that piece?
Well, yes. Yeah. Go on then. Why that piece?
So, because it is one of the most famous, obviously he really liked it and it was one of his favourites, but it is a famous, important piece of classical music. It's big, it's dramatic, it's iconic, and that was what they wanted to use as their test piece of music when they were trialling out how they were going to make the compact disc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Right.
crucially, it's long. So it was a good
Yes, I
timing.
suppose, yeah.
It was a good timing for them to practice with to see if they could get it all on there on one side without needing to flip it. So depending on the performance of the Ninth Symphony that you were listening to, it can run anywhere from 70 to 74 minutes.
Okay.
So that's why a CD's length is roughly 74 minutes.
No.
Yeah. Which means a decision based on a 19th century symphony ends up shaping how music is distributed in the 20th and the 21st century.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So, but now whether or not that's the only reason is like contested and debated.
Well, I'd imagine there is a size. to
Yeah,
think
there were
about as well.
technical factors that played into this, such as like storage limits, manufacturing like constraints and things like that.
Yeah.
And engineers played a huge role in actually making it work. It wasn't just, you know, the man who was running Sony at the time saying, make this happen, and it did.
Yeah.
But the Beethoven story is stuck because it's kind of one of those ones that is a bit too good to not be true.
Yeah, that's true. But then also, do you know what I used to love about a CD? Is so I used to have a tape player in my first car, and I used to put a blank tape in there, and I used to have a little wire come out of it to plug into my Walkman.
Yeah,
and I'd plug it in
clever.
there. And what would happen then is I would have multiple CDs across the passenger seat, and I would just grab one at random. Couldn't do that with a tape. because you'd have to fast forward to things, but you could just click.
Well,
Skip.
this is the thing. This is how like it connects to art more broadly, because the CD didn't just change music quality; it changed how artists think about time. So before you had physical limits with a vinyl, with sides and things like that. You had to like structure your work around those limitations.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Whereas after you suddenly had more freedom, longer albums, different pacings where you could sort of go. Because when you think of CDs, they always had the fast songs, they always had intros, outros, slower pace, then it ramps it back up again. Then it was a couple of bops towards the end to keep you like engaged
Couple of
and
bops.
listens. Yeah. So you were able to have these sorts of things introduced. So last week we talked about the paint tube, didn't we?
We did indeed.
And this is another example of how technology changes how art is made and how it's experienced. And the CD does something else. It standardized things, really.
Right.
So suddenly albums have similar lengths, formats become predictable, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Listening becomes more individual. You have like headphones and personal players.
Whereas you couldn't do that with a vinyl.
No,
You're walking around and it'd be like skipping every 5 seconds.
Yeah, and it shifts the art form from a shared physical experience to something more personal that is your choice of how you want it. Look, sort of experience the music that you want to listen to. And I think it also allowed people to be a little bit more having what's the word? They're like not as secret, but what do they call it when it's
Well, it's just yours, isn't it? It's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like your own listening experience.
But it's like a fully grown man listening to Britney Spears "Hit Me Baby One More Time." No one's gonna know if you're walking around with a Walkman, are they?
No, exactly.
But yeah. So your guilty pleasure. That's the one I was thinking of.
You know what you need to discover at some point, mind? You know the anti-skip thing that Sony used to say that that all of their Walkmans were anti-skip? I never believed that. Were they anti-skip?
Skipping. But anyway, it has a knock-on effect on everything, like how music is produced, how it's consumed, and how artists built their career.
Yeah.
Now, the slightly ironic bit here that I found when I was looking into all of this is the CD, this revolutionary cutting-edge format, is now basically obsolete, and streaming has fully taken over. We are all in the age of streaming now.
Yeah.
But the structure it helped to create is still here. So when you think about it, like albums are usually still similar length, as if they're being put on CDs, and the song lengths still pretty much the same. And the song lengths were the lengths they were, so that they could fit the same amount on every album.
Yeah,
and we're still following that format now, even though streaming opens you up to even more endless possibilities. Like I know you do have artists like people like Lady Gaga, for example, who sometimes will put out a song that's incredibly long. With really long intros and things like that to it because it's on streaming.
Yeah.
But still, majoritively today, we're sticking to that sort of thing.
I never thought of that. That's crazy. Yeah, you could have an album that's just unlimited.
Yeah. So, like, if you think about it, right, if you had to pick, would you design a format based on technical limits or artistic ideals?
Oh, for me, it'd have to be technical limits because that's the way I am.
Yeah, and that's the way the world works. But now, today, we're sort of in the artistic ideal sort of realm of streaming because the world is your oyster, really.
But then you could go, but so many people are going back in time, including us, going back to vinyls. Yeah. Are we going to go back to CDs at some point?
Maybe, I don't know. But then the thing is they all ended up getting scratched. And didn't we have that era? I'm surprised there's even vinyls left to buy now, because didn't we have that era where everyone was melting them and turning them into bowls?
Yeah, I know, but can you imagine the carcinogens coming off that?
Yeah.
Being in your house?
But yeah, to summarise it and to, sort of really encapsulate it all, a piece of music written nearly 200 years earlier helped to define the future of an entirely new technology of music that now shapes the way music is listened and, worked with today.
Jack, you have taught me something new, as you do here every single week.
And it is a really interesting one for me because it's totally off the applied arts and into music.
Yeah. I know, but I didn't expect that. And I couldn't say I expected it because my iPad has suddenly stopped working. And now it's just moving again.
If that was a CD-ROM.
Yeah, it'd be as scratched as the screen is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the week ahead.
Yes. What are we doing this week?
So this week I am at the Trocs at the Wales Millennium Centre.
Oh yes, this looks really good.
It's an
You're there on your own.
Male ballet troupe, and it's a comedy.
I know.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Gutted, I'm going to miss it.
I know. I've been looking at the photos of it, and they do things like Swan Lake and things like that. So I'm quite excited for it to see how it.
I feel like I want to like video chat you or something while you're doing video chat. How old did I sound then?
Video
chat. Skype you.
I'm hoping I'm going to do a bit more, get out and about and do a bit more film photography.
Yeah.
Because the weather's been awful. And there's one limitation that I've learned, that if it's an overcast day and you're trying to do a bit of outside photography on a film camera, don't turn out great.
No, I suppose it depends on the film, mind, doesn't it?
It does, but the film that I have is for sunny days.
Oh, okay.
Don't know why that's the film I went for in sunny Wales, but
And while you're going to see the Trocs in the Wales Millennium Centre, I'm going to be travelling up to London for the Arts Professional Conference that's going on, which is going to be fun. It's all about the arts and how it relates to business and how the business world needs to impact the arts sector a lot more. So I will debrief you on said thing when I get back.
we will discuss here.
We will certainly discuss here. But
Yeah.
what else are we going to be doing?
Well, we'll be talking and sort of breaking down the election results.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one.
Hopefully not with a shaky glass of wine.
Yes, hopefully not. Oh, we should start doing wine on here.
No, because then we'll be like Alan and
Oh, and Lee.
Lee's podcast. We don't want that.
Yeah, that would be quite fun though.
But yeah, it would be quite fun to have. Well, then see, Graham Norton has a glass of wine on his chat show.
Yes.
Maybe we will have something to take the edge off next week.
Yeah,
we
let's
might
do
need
that.
it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Unless
but-
we film it at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, wow.
Could be just finishing. Anyway,
Yeah. And then I've also written down, because it was in my diary that we were going to it, is a Boston Terrier Day in Ross-on-Wye.
but we don't own a Boston Terrier.
No, we don't, but my sister does, and she won't drive
yeah,
to
of course,
Ross-on-Wye without us. So you know that area quite well, because your stepmom is from Hay-on-Wye, so we do know that area of the country quite well.
What, just because it's on the River Wye?
No, but we have gone to Ross-on-Wye a few times.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So
yeah.
we'll probably go up there and have a look at all the Boston Terriers. I might be contrary and bring my not Boston Terrier with me.
As long as we don't come home with a Boston Terrier, I couldn't think of anything worse.
they're
She's
not.
a handful, that one.
She is a handful, that dog. She is a very bouncy
She's
dog.
lovely.
I'll be interested to see if they're all as crazy as Daphne is.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, that would at least that would give solace when you own a Boston Terrier. That's probably why everybody gets together with all these similar dog breeds.
It's like,
Is yours as bad as mine? Yeah, probably.
Boston Terriers Anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in with a balaclava, like, yeah, she's my problem.
A baklava.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm hungry now. But anyway, yes, that's it for this week's Pain in the Arts, I suppose.
If you enjoyed this episode, do give us a follow on socials, like, share, subscribe to this podcast. You can do it. Leave us a little 5-star review. That would be very nice on Spotify and the other ones.
Spotify,
all of them.
Apple,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Just do it. Yeah, that'd be great. Really appreciate it as well, because we are tipping into, we had one episode about 2 weeks ago, is now on 22,500 listens / views on YouTube. And our last week's one, as of time of recording, is on 18,500, which is, it's really good. It's really picking up some traction. So it would be really nice to have more questions coming in and more comments, likes and shares. That would be really appreciated. Yes. And if you want to find out more, if you want to send us a message, you can, theeditwales.com. You can submit a question there, or you can do it on Instagram. That would be very nice too. Oh, and you can find Jack and I on Instagram as well. What are you on Instagram?
So I am Jack_Welsh Arts.
And I am Chris J Birch _UK. I had to think who I was there for a second. We will see you next week for much more Pain in the Arts. Have a great week, and don't forget to vote.
Yes, vote.